Good morning. Anything provided in these videos is for entertainment purposes only. I am a random guy on YouTube talking about trading. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing I say or do in my videos should be construed to be financial advice of any kind. The majority of traders lose money trading. Trading is a very risky thing to do, and you are very likely to lose money whether you listen to my videos or not. Alright, so let's recap last week. The only thing I did last week was trade ES futures, micro ES. That was it. On Top Step, as you can see here, the week was, I'll be honest, it was rough. I feel like I made a lot of mistakes. There was a lot of chop. There were a number of times when I probably used too much leverage to try to reverse and catch up, which is probably not a good thing. So total profit and loss, 564 over the week. Win percent, 64%. Not awesome. It'd be nice to be closer to 70, 75. Average win, average loss. You can see that's my biggest problem right now. I'm still working on it. I did do better this week with that, but I definitely, I don't know. It's like a scalping thing. So there's just pretty much every major move in the market I'm not catching. I'm catching the turns as part of the major moves, and then not staying in the trades long enough. There were a number of major moves this week, and if I had just stayed in mechanically a number of times, I would have probably made 3 times this amount of money. So it is what it is. Let's go down to the. Here we go. So you can see how the week went. Wednesday was rough, and Friday was pretty rough too. Monday was a holiday where I took a few small trades and just walked away. I didn't really do much on Monday because I knew it was a holiday anyway. Tuesday and Thursday weren't too bad. Again, I could have stayed in trades long enough to actually get more profit than that. Friday was the disaster. I'm going to talk about Friday a little bit. So Friday, this whole mess here. So this was a unemployment report before the market. Market popped up because everyone was excited about rates, and I'm still not good enough, reversed enough to read market internals. So I think the market internals were actually somewhat bearish inside of here, especially once you got to the end of this megaphone. I misinterpreted this. I looked at this thinking that it was transitioning into a spike in channel and that we were going to get another uptrend day out of this, and that was not the case. And I think really what I missed price action wise was the fact that this was an expanding wedge. Means I should have been watching more carefully for bearish momentum to form. This candle right here, the one that comes down all the way down to that sort of megaphone and then back up, that kind of threw me, and I thought maybe this was a false breakdown and that it was going to go higher. So I got thrashed around a little bit inside of that triangle, and that was not good trading at all. And then I got stopped out and reversed immediately to the downside as soon as this broke down here. And I ended up getting out here instead of taking this whole move. So, yeah, so it was like I was in a profit at this point, and then there was just all this move. This whole thing just kept going and going and going, and it would have been a huge profit instead of a small one. So, did not want to take any longs down here. I really figured this was going to flag and retest the bottom. In fact, I shorted here thinking that it was going to do that, and it just went sideways and got really choppy, and I changed my mind a few times, which was me not recognizing, that it's a Friday after a big move, and the market's likely to get pretty choppy. I still am not that confident with limit order trading, in terms of being able to sort of trade limit orders on the tops and bottoms of these. So I generally am using stop orders to enter, and so this was just not good at all. I ended up losing a couple of trades in here. I did correctly pick this move down, so I got some back, and then I think I scalped a couple of times in this up move, and so I was able to get back to above a break even for the day. But yeah, this mess here really threw me, so I'm going to have to be a little bit more wary of how price moves on Fridays after a big move, especially, and just sort of pay more attention to overlapping bars. I think that after I entered here short and this went down and then failed and then went down again, I don't know what the right thing to do there is. Maybe just holding short the whole way until it collapsed, or just, I don't know, maybe not taking this in the first place unless it was a solid, because this signal bar is kind of iffy with the long tail down. This here would have been a better short, but as you can see, it didn't go anywhere, and then it immediately started getting choppy. So there may not have been any way to avoid the chop there. I think that the important thing is that I need to recognize that I shouldn't be changing my mind that easily, because I'm going to get chopped up. So I need to either just hold onto something and see where it goes, or just get out and stay flat. And staying flat probably would have been a better choice. Sort of looking at this consolidation and waiting for it to do something. And then again down here, I went long because this sort of inside bar, you could see that it failed to go down, and then it started to go higher, and that's when I realized that this was going to make a higher low, and that this was more of a trend reversal pattern than this is a larger flag probably, but that it wasn't going to go down and retest the bottom again. So I started getting long in here. I think paying more attention to market internals, things like the advancing declining line, trend, tick, VIX, stuff like that. I think that would be a little bit more helpful here, and maybe learning a bit how to do some limit order trading. Sort of watching the market to realize when it's starting to get, when it's going to have this kind of activity in it. So, and then of course the big one is staying in a move like this long enough. I mean, recognizing that when the market comes up like this, forms a pattern, and then starts to collapse fairly strongly, there's certainly a decent chance that it's going to break this initial move, and if it does, everybody's going to be wrong, and they're all going to get out, and then you're going to have you're going to get like this measured move down from here to here, all the way down to here. So, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm thinking the concept of measured moves, probably I need to start using that a little bit more in my trades, to take my limit orders to actually have a limit order in that goes to a measured move. I don't see a whole lot of good examples here. One might be in here. You could say this was a double bottom, and you could look at this and say, okay, two squares, it should go up to here, and it did. Similarly, here's a range that breaks, it should go up to here, and it did. This broke down and then failed to go to any kind of measured move target. I would have expected it to go down to like here or something, but so I don't know. But another one is just at least holding on candles that are, when you get these strong moves, you'll notice that none of the candle highs break the previous highs. They they continue on down like that until here, and that's when this candle finally breaks the previous highest candle, and you would have had a stop in here, and then you would have gotten stopped out. So, and then you probably, I don't think getting long here was a great idea, but you can see that there's kind of 3 tries, and this is a pretty beefy outside bar that closes higher than the previous bar. So thinking that this was probably going to at least go up to retest in this area was probably the case. So this might have been a decent long scalp. And I don't know what the market internals were at the time, but so yeah, biggest issues, not recognizing market behavior and going flat, or not doing limit order or stop order trading rather in a choppy market. So doing that, not seeing the real nature of this, especially with I think advancing declining volume was actually showing that this was more of a bearish pattern, and just not holding winners long enough. So I got to work on those things. As you can see, my account is up to 5704 from where I started 2 weeks ago. Not great, but not terrible, obviously, because I'm not underwater. I still got a ways to go, 2,300 to go until I can turn this into a funded account. I have never won a prop eval. I've blown 3 of them this summer or this year. Not on Top Step and not with futures, so this is the first time trading futures, but so we'll see how it goes. My hope is that I can continue to pull this out of a hat and improve in the process. That's really the only point here, and if I can manage to get paid off a few times before I blow up a funded account, that would be good. We'll see what happens. Alrighty, talk to you next time.